Hey everybody, it's me again. This time, The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, it's been drilled out. And then the next one up after that will be The Adventures of Link. And this one's even way worse. I mean, this one is beat up big time. And the PCB has been damaged on the side right here. So I'll see what I can do about fixing that. But we're not worried about The Adventure of Link at this moment. We are going to concentrate on The Legend of Zelda. See, I grew up with this game. I absolutely love this game. I was able to beat it both times through. I know where many of the things are at and located in the game. You know, like heart keepers, things like that. So I've spent some countless hours playing and grinding on this game. And what I mean by grinding, I mean by well, you know, like looking for rupees, you know, just to collect enough of them so you can get the blue ring, you know, so you can walk around the game a little bit easier. It's like kind of like your armor. Alright, I am going to touch this up real quick so I can sanitize it. There's a board line, or a cart to board line. Again, this is just, it's what it is. I mean, it's an old game. I don't remember if this one was my original one. I believe it might be. So this may have been done by me. I can't say for sure. I'm not going to say that I'm going to claim that I didn't do it, but hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, back in the day, I knew for a fact that I did open up a couple carts because I had to. The batteries were dead and I wanted to play them, and there was no way to actually get a security bit because the, you know, it was one of those tool sets that you just weren't going to ever find on the shelf anywhere. So, yeah, that's what's going on with this one. And what I mean by that cart to that line, if I can zoom in far enough and close enough, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. You just see a little bit of damage, like right there. You know, it's like a little bit of damage, like right there. And that's where the actual board is meeting up with this line right here, and it's wearing away the actual silk screen. And not many people are discussing that particular wear factor on these older style games, and I will. I'll suggest that we do something about it now so that you don't have to worry about it later when it starts to corrode. And I would like put a little bit of no chip down all along that whole seam, or that the little area. And this is usually, it seems like it's typical to ones that have been actually drilled out, but I've seen other carts that have been just, you know, as not well taken care of and have the same, you know, familiar, I would say, damage to it. I was just waiting for it to dry before I start hitting it up with the re-eraser. I should call it an eraser. You have to pronounce it or enunciate my words. I've been really kind of lacking in that department. I could tell just by watching it with closed captioning on. All right, let me hit this up real quick. Now this should polish up wonderfully. There was no way that this was ever been touched with a pair, of sandpapered or anything like that, or, you know, like etched. No chemicals on it, nothing like that. So this should be a really shiny board, with the exception of the typical wear that we normally have been seeing on a lot of these. I hope everybody's day is going great. Mine is going wonderful. I thank you all for watching my channel. It's greatly appreciated. I enjoy sharing my day with everyone. This is very therapeutic for me. And I hope it entertains you, and maybe you might get the ambition to try this out yourself. Get your old vintage carts out and clean them up and make them look bling. Give them that luster back that they originally had back in the day before we started to do the whole blow on the cart concept. I don't know where that came from. Why would anybody want to blow on a cart? I don't even know if I did that. I think I did it a few times as a kid, and it did work. And maybe that's the reason why it stuck, because it actually worked. And I was like, but you were aware that every time that you blow on it, you're adding bacteria to the contact pads. Unless copper has antibiotic properties, I don't know. I mean, maybe brass does, because brass is mixed with silver. I don't know. I'm not an expert on any of these things. I'm leery about how disgusting it really is blowing on a cartridge and then putting it inside your console with all that on there, and it's just gonna basically bake it on if it's warm. You know, say these contact pads ever get a little bit warmer, they might get baked on, and that'd be just really gross. Just my opinion on the matter. I don't know how everybody else feels about it. I hope y'all liked the last video I made. I had a really great time making that one. I opened up a Nintendo, the original, I think it's model number NES-001. I have a top loader. I can... Give me 1 second. Sorry about the dead airspace. I think around the 4th of July weekend, if I'm not doing anything, I'll probably work on my top loader. It needs a little bit of work. I need to take the shell off, clean it up some. I need to work on that. I don't know if you guys see all that, but yeah, I'll take that completely apart, clean it up, and maybe I'll no chip on it, make sure that it doesn't keep rusting out on me. If that's even rust, it might just be some gnarliness. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Kind of looks like what happened to the cartridge on the Zeldas, but yeah. Okay, now I'm going to hit this up right here along the board, just to get that line and the garbage that may be accumulated within those small little areas that have been, you know, any contaminants that might be in there. Just saying. All right, now it's time to pause it, clean up a little bit, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. It took a little bit longer than I had expected, but here's the reveal. Get all that off of there. If you guys have not had a chance to take a look at my my other video that I have up about Zelda, I have actually 2 of them that are under emulation. I found some interesting, very interesting codes. The first one I'd like to talk about is the I shouldn't talk about the old man, but the level select. The level select is very cool. I really enjoyed the level select. I thought it was very neat, where I could pick different areas of the game that normally would not have been in the game, like stages that don't necessarily exist, and then you can see what they might be because they're just a numeral value. So I thought it was pretty cool to see that. And then I have the infinite ladder, which you could use the ladder anywhere that it's accessible in the game without boundary break. Which it is a boundary break, but it's not that type of boundary break. You know, like it doesn't let you go through certain areas of the game where you would be able to use that. It's not accessible. It means it's just not accessible. You know, like you just bump into it. It doesn't work. It doesn't go through it. Okay, now we're on the scrubbing side of things. All right, I'm gonna get this top of the board real quick here. I'll get that flux off there too. And I flipped it over so that this side right here is not the same as this side. I don't want any of that, those issues that I may be having by just reintroducing some sort of a dielectric grease that has been put on the board somewhere else, or a varnish or something like that, or a clear coat. I don't know what it is, but sometimes I've been having, like, I don't know, some sort of a greasy after effect. And I don't know if it's my eraser itself that's leaving a trail behind, or if it's something else entirely. And I'm just, it's a trial and error. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, with that light going right up here, I have another light going, so I'm trying to get the mirror polish to show here now. Here, bring it up a little bit to the camera. You can see where it's really been used a lot, which is awesome because, you know, it's Zelda. I mean, how often do you play this? And the reason why I'm getting this fixed now is because I've been wanting to play it, and I have the original Nintendo now to play it on. It's like, woo woo! You know, it's a win-win. Alright, now I'm going to work over here on this. So I'm thinking I'm just going to rotate this around. Still give me nah, let's keep it the original way that we've had it, like that. Yeah, I'm trying new things, just see what I can do. Just want that old flux off of there, if it will come off. I might not. Well, I don't know. Yeah. And I may do something with that solder too. Like freshen it up with some new stuff before I put the battery terminal or the battery holder on. And this one I don't have to worry about an actual battery still being in it, so I'm not going to be doing any type of or worries that it's going to pop while I'm working on it. Give me 1 second. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I didn't have my little miniature fan next to me. I like having that, you know, for the cross ventilation. Alright. Yeah, I think that's going to be good enough for right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on this other side here. And, oh wait, yeah, get that chipset. So you guys can see what it is. Everybody likes these things. I know I do. I really like seeing that got a Sharp chipset, you know, or another notable name brand on it. But yeah, Zelda, man, these carts were made to last. That's for sure. Okay, let me get this line right there. That line of gnarliness. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but yeah, it's just a little bit. Even still, it's there, you know, and it's something that to be aware of. Try to get more of that. I'm gonna get the board now. Cool. Electric eraser time. And yes, I've been cleaning it with the piece of sandpaper so that you guys know that I'm not reapplying it each time. I almost want to cover these things too. Like parchment paper or something like that, so I don't keep introducing this stuff over and over and over again. Yeah. I may work on the other side again off camera just to get it really, really shined up, if I can do that or not. I'm going to work on it. Yeah, I'm really happy that the other console that I worked on the other day, yesterday, is working so well. Like immediately as soon as I put that game, you know, the game enhancer in the console, it worked, and I was like, what? Oh, that's awesome. So now I know how to actually get these old consoles to play again. If I can pick them up for an, you know, affordable price, I can fix them and get them so that other people I know would have one heck of a really, really nice Christmas present. I couldn't imagine getting an original Nintendo that's fully working and restored for Christmas. I think that would be amazing. I don't know about anybody else, man, but that'd be cool. I'd be happy. I'd be like, what? No, there's a Christmas. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to clean up a little bit. Hey, everybody, I'm back again. It's time for the reveal. Yeah, where we left off was about Christmas. I remember getting Nintendo game after Nintendo game for Christmas. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't Nintendo games anymore. It was like other Hasbro type toys, you know. I mean, I remember back when I was 4 years old and I was getting a lot of Fisher-Price toys. And my first Fisher-Price toy I remember was a zoo set of some sort. And of course, I'd get, you know, a couple other things, you know, from Hot Wheels, things like that. But a lot of it was He-Man. I received GoBots before I received any of the Transformers, and then Transformers were very popular. But a lot of times I would receive Constructs, and because Constructs were more available in the stores that we had located here in my small town versus Lego. So I would have Constructs, which I've done something with, and I'm using them right now as a Nest cart stand. If you want to see that video, you could definitely take a look at that. I can leave a little link right here in the corner of the video if I need to. This cart looks really, really good though. I mean, there's no corrosion or anything on it. Alright, I'll wipe that off real quick and yeah. Then we can get moving on to the soldering part of things. And yeah, I'm not going to get very technical. If you guys want to watch somebody that's really, really good about doing that, just take a look at how to restore carts. You'll find numerous providers of that information. For me, I'm just saying is I'm using a Heiko, or a Heiko, which is it? FX888 Delta, or FX TAC 888D. It's a really nice soldering station. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's really fast at getting hot, and that's what I was looking for. Okay, that should be a sufficient amount of digression from what we were just talking about. Moving on, with the cheat codes that I found for Zelda, or the Legend of Zelda, they're very neat. I mean, yes, I have stage select. Yes, I have infinite ladder to walk through and use the ladder anywhere you need to. That's water. Of course, boundaries. But then the letter from the old man to the old lady who gives you potions. The value for that in assembly code is 0666. Doesn't that just boggle your mind? It's a letter of 0666 to the old lady to give you potions, and this is Nintendo, and this is the Legend of Zelda. I mean, I know there's a sequence of coding, that kind of stuff, but that's kind of odd that they would put that one there. I think it'd be creepy if they put like the red ring there, but I don't know. It made me wonder. It made me think, like, what? Why would that? Okay, I'm not going to second guess it. I'll take it for what it is. It's just a numeral value. But it's a letter from the old man. Anyway, I just felt like sharing that. I don't have much I lost train of thought. Anyway, let's just stop with the digression and let's go ahead and keep working on this thing. Let's get that mirror polish going on this. I think that looks actually really good. It's getting it back to where it was supposed to be, that with that mirror polished finish in there. Here, I'm going to turn this light off real quick. So maybe now you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, you can see that where it's kind of a shine all the way across the board. And get this side too to see if it does the same thing, so we can. Because I like that mirror polish on it. Nice. Yeah, it looks like it still needs some work. Again, it might be my mixture strength too, where I don't have enough rubbing alcohol in with the distilled water. And yes, I've been using that, and I have not had any issues whatsoever. I'm just right now trying to make my rubbing alcohol cost effective for how much I'm using of it. I got a lot of games, man. I gotta work on them. Give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and strengthen this a little bit and see if it will work a little better. So, see you soon. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I'm using a 99%, and you really don't. I don't think you really want to use 99% on electronics unless you cut it some a little bit in order to get it to activate. At least that's what I was told. So this is what I'm working with. I made it a little bit stronger. So it should be evaporating a little bit more. Clear and clean. If I use pure 99%, it leaves kind of a white film behind, which is in itself neat that it would do that. Okay, so yeah, I needed to strengthen my rubbing alcohol a little bit. Okay, I'll come on this side here and I'm going to go ahead and scrub on her and get her to clean up. So I guess like 91% is probably your best bet. That's what I'm trying to get close to on the mixture. And I don't know the exact proportions that I should be using to get 91%, so I'm just kind of guesstimating. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, put a little bit more in and keep going by a little bit, little bit, little bit. Yeah, you see it's evaporating almost as soon as I put it down, or some of it at least. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Sorry, this might take a little bit longer than what we are typically used to. And I did scrub this some, but it looks like it's going to need a little bit more scrubbing, so I'll be back. Just give me 1 second. Alright, hey everybody, I am back. And let's turn on the soldering iron and get busy. And yes, I'm going to use a solder sucker. This little guy right here. I might. I haven't decided yet. It might not even need it. It'd be like, just waiting for the temp to raise. We're already at 500 degrees. Yeah, it's that quick. So, everybody's got their favorite soldering station, and I am happy that I picked this one up. I also went through a link on a fellow YouTuber's channel. 800 already, sorry guys. I was kind of... But yeah, I went through another YouTuber's channel who has a link in their description that will give them Amazon money for purchases. And I was like, hey, that's pretty awesome. Amazon, if you're hearing me or listening, you know, give me a holler. I would be very much so interested in doing that myself. That way you guys don't have to worry about watching commercials. And you don't have to worry about me asking you guys to subscribe or do any of that kind of stuff, because I'll be using and receiving money from Amazon, which would be ultimately my favorite thing in the world. I would be very, very pleased knowing that I would be being taken care of by them, because man, do I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. Whew. I am a huge supporter, especially with what was going on right now. I mean, if I can help a small business out, you better believe it, I will do it. I know they're not a small business. It doesn't mean that whoever's selling it is not a small business. Ah, yeah, it gets you, kind of boggles your mind a little bit, doesn't it? So, give me a second here. I'm just trying to get some of this. Want some of this flux down. I know there's probably an easier way to doing this, but this seems like a very good way for me. It's not cumbersome. It doesn't get in the way. Alright. Battery holder. Am I putting it in the right way? Yes, I am. And wait. Now on this one, it might be a different terminal. But, you know, like the terminals might be a different polarity. Nope. It's positive right there on the inside, and then negative right here on the outside. I'm thinking maybe the Adventure of Link might be the opposite. Oh. So we'll see. But yeah, this is definitely the positive rail. So this will be the, as you insert the battery, the outside of the casing on it is the positive on there. And I really like these Energizer ones. You get the positive casing and then the negatives right there. So I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but yep. Some flux on this little guy too. You know what? I'm just gonna dunk it in there. Sorry about my hand being in the way. Alright, well, we are ready to solder. Everybody has a way of saying it. I've always called it soldering. Like, you don't say the L. Other people say it's solder. You got flux, and then you got flux, or flux. Different ways of saying it. Yeah, I am. About that, everybody. I reached my maximum recording size. As I was saying, I'm very happy that I'm able and capable of doing this now. Because before, man, that microlepsy, I'm telling you what, microlepsy just, it ruled, not ruined, but ruled my life. I mean, there was nothing I could do to escape oops. We're on there now. And I'll come back through again here in a little bit. How do I want to go about doing this one? Same way as I did before? Yeah. I'm trying to get, like, a pattern or a method to doing this stuff. And my tweezers don't want to stay still for me right this moment. There we go. And I'll come back over here and hit this one up again. I might not even need to, but I'm still going to. There, that's on there better. I'll come back around here for a second. I'm going to put a little bit more down on this one. I don't have to. I'm still going to, though. There we go. You're on there now, aren't you? Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. Sweet. Wonderful. Couple lovely soldering joints. I may touch it up just a little bit, but I don't even think it needs to be touched up. I think it's good just where it's at. Can you see it? It's like, can you see it? Move all that other way. Make sure I put it together right. Excellent. And I'm going to put a piece of foam right here to block that. So, give me another second. Yep, I'm back. Cut a piece of foam down so it keeps these from actually, touching one another. And now I'm going to do a quick little cleanup of that flux off of there. Get this area all cleared up too. Make sure that there's no leftover residue. I gotta tell you, I really like that type of the flux that I'm using. It's nice, good stuff. Seems like it's easy to clean off too, like where it doesn't harden or gel up, and it doesn't leave like that gross yellowing acid color. Like you know what I'm talking about. Come on, everybody knows this stuff. If you're messing with any of this, looks gnarly, and it makes your project look a little crusty after you're done. Alright, let's go ahead and brush that off. I'm gonna slap a battery inside this bad boy. Or in her, however you want to say it. Now, these holders have been rather really, really tight. There. Yeah, those solder joints are wicked on there. Sorry. Yeah, they're really on there. Did you see how I was wrenching on that? Trying to get that battery in there. Holy crap. Okay, I'm going to get my voltmeter out. Or whatever it's called. Multimeter. Some people go by name brand. Just make sure that I'm not doing anything to it that I shouldn't be already done. Let me get this little thing out of the way a little bit so I can check that for continuity. Wrong setting. Get this over here so you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to run across the actual bat. It works, by the way. I already told. Battery terminal right here is positive, and of course this would be the negative right here. There we go. I don't know why it's reading overload. It's not like I did anything to it. Here, give me a second here. I'm gonna flip it over. To one of my that's fine. It was maybe just that one side. Yeah. And I want to give a... There we go. It's fine. I thought maybe one of the diodes reversed on it. I guess maybe that might happen. I don't know. If they fail, they might go backwards or something. Alright, well, I don't need to touch up this side any on the board line, that cart to board line. But I will have to on this side of it, because I could already see a couple little wear marks, and you can see where it's a little etched all the way along. It's etched all the way along this whole line right here, where it's been wore off. Yep, that's solder mask. So if it's solder mask, anybody can correct me if you want to. It's either solder mask or it's a silk screen. So I have a bump in the camera. Get out of the way. Wow, that's a stringy one. There we go. The reason why I'm leaving these battery terminals on the board and not cutting them off is because I want to leave these carts as stock as possible, so that later on, if somebody receives this, they could remove these right here. They could just snip them off if they wanted to. I mean, you don't have to keep them on there, and then you put your own battery on there later. That clear coat some time to dry a little bit. I'm gonna bring my fan over to give it a quick curing time. Like, yay, now I got a fully functioning working Zelda. And the game played, but you weren't able to save anything, and man, you could sit here for days, if not weeks, playing a game. It's not that long, but you know what I'm talking about, especially if you want to do both. I just wish this game had Zelda capability, so you could play actually as Zelda herself. That's what I was kind of wishing that the second mission would have been, where you were actually her and you had to save, well, Link. That would have been cool. Alright, so here's a Zelda. I'm going to put a rubber band around her. I'm going to slap it inside the original console, and you guys get to see me play for a little bit. So, see you soon. Hey everybody, it's me again. This time, Legend of Zelda with Game Enhancer. Alright, yesterday I cleaned it all up, put a new battery in it, put a new battery holder, all that. Play the game through, save states all work. And this time we're just going to go ahead and put in, here, some Game Genie codes. I don't want to miss that. Game Genie codes. The first one I'm going to put in the 16 heart containers. And then I'm going to save it, turn it off, and then put my other codes in that I really want to play the entire game for a little bit. Your name here. Alright, 16. All heart containers. So I'm going to play the game real quick. Give me a second. Go into inventory. And on the second player controller right here, you hit your A and up button, and you'll get into that access of that other menu. And we'll save it. So now, what I'll do is I'll turn the console off, turn it back on again, and we'll put in the codes that I want to play the game with after we we saved it. So this time it's going to be take no damage. Man, I love playing Zelda. This is one of my favorite games. One of my first games that I ever owned on the original Nintendo as well, besides, of course, Mario. I had Metroid for a little while, and then we figured out the Justin Bailey code for it, and I was very happy to at least get somewhere in the game, because, man, it was complicated once you lose the manual, or that the official Nintendo Player's Guide with all the walkthrough stuff. That's awesome. Alright, so the first code was take no damage, the second code was don't lose rupees, and the third code is going to be infinite bombs. So yeah, I beat the game, and it took me a very long time. It took me about 2 hours, and with recording and everything else, I had to make separations, editing, all that kind of stuff, and I don't even want to post it up because it's just a really, really long video, and yeah. But I'm happy to play it again and show you guys exactly that the battery works fine, how to set those codes, to use the second player controller to save your game so you don't have to worry about, perishing or dying, and just to save it. You can just use second player controller and up and A button when you're in your inventory. I love that. That's awesome. Right now I'm going for the magic sword. I didn't even want to pick up the wooden one. Then I'm going to go for the power bracelet. Yeah, I'm very impressed that the cartridge plays. immediately as soon as I put it inside the console. I mean, even the game Genie works immediately as soon as I put it inside there. You know, the game enhancer. I just... It works like it's new again, and I'm super, super happy that all that worked. A little bit of an eraser and some rubbing alcohol. The right proportions of rubbing alcohol, mind you. Yeah, I think the most difficult level of this game for me was level 5 and 6. Level 5 for the Dark Knight, or those the knights, and level 6 were the mages, or whatever they're called in the game. They're just uber tough. It's going to give me the right one. Oh, that's pretty close. It's not exactly the one I wanted, but it'll work. Okay, the funny thing about this this letter from the old man is, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna show you what I'm referring to. That's the letter right there, and the value is 0666 in assembly to the old lady. I mean, yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody, show everybody that little thing right there is like, why is that old man sending the old lady, hey, this letter's a letter of 0666? Just gonna get some money. Now I'm gonna go pick up the blue candle, and then I'm gonna pick up the blue ring. Ooh, there's bombs right there. And that's something I needed. Also, meanwhile, I'm going to pick up some arrows here. And while I purchase the blue candle, I'll probably pick up about 4 keys.
I hope this isn't giving away the game too much for anybody, but if you're watching, stuff on my channel, you know that this is meant surely for entertainment. You don't have to play the game this particular way. You could handicap yourself the entire time too, making it much more difficult. This is where I'm going to buy the key as well. You save yourself a couple bucks each time you purchase it here. Last one. This is where you get your shield. Or at least the cheapest shield that I've known in the game. It's like, wow, sometimes this game can be really, really, really quite unforgiving when it comes to beating a level or having to, you know, slay a dragon because it'll get that last little bullet off. This seems like a really, really nice match, or a nice gaming session. Yeah, I'm not getting hit as much, or as frequent. This is the reason why I got a couple extra keys. Now I'm going to go for the A key. I really do not like the magic book in this particular level. For the wand. It slows my wand's fire speed down so that you don't get as many shots off. Because you have to wait for the fire to finish smoldering. It's just my personal preference. So a way to save yourself, maybe, or possibly a key. try using bait in the game. So I never use bait. I don't think it works. Not as well as I would hope it would. How many bombs did that one take? Yeah, I'm just thoroughly impressed that playing this on original hardware and with the original card, it's just awesome. I mean, I tried it on the FC Twin, and there's a little bit of artifacts. You know what I'm talking about. There's a little bit of a vertical or a horizontal line along the sides, and I don't care for it. That's door repair. Alright, I'll go into like level 2 real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. I'm almost at the maximum recording size anyway for this particular gaming session. Thank you all for watching my videos and subscribing and making comments in the comment section. It's greatly appreciated. It gives me words of encouragement. Follow me on Instagram. I post some things there that I normally do not post on YouTube. There's just, I don't know, it's a lot of edit content that I would rather have there because it's just small files, anything like, you know, a couple seconds to a minute long, you know, things like that, that I would rather not post on YouTube that I would rather post on Instagram. Like deer videos, things that, you know, animals, little critters, chipmunks, friendly things that you would normally not see in the wild. And I wouldn't put that on YouTube because YouTube is mainly for, I don't know, gaming. A little more technical side of things. We're getting there. This is where my... Yeah, there it is. I'll beat this one real quick. I'm sure I have enough time on the camera to do that. And then we'll wrap it up. And call it a day. with that, that's the end of my video for this time around for gaming. Oh, man. I gotta tell you guys, this is awesome. It's very nostalgic, and being able to actually clean this stuff up and just relax while doing it, it's therapeutic, and it's keeping my mind off of having microlepsy and dealing with that kind of garbage. So, with that said, enjoy yourselves, stay safe, be healthy, happy gaming, take care. Wait, you know what? I'm going to show you guys one last time. Yeah, I really like that a lot. And there it is. Whoop whoop. Catch you later, everybody.